How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. My name is Alex. Today we have a really fun car, a car that I've really enjoyed over the past years, and one that I've really wanted to do on this channel for a while. This is a 2012 Mercedes C350 Coupe rear-wheel drive, and we're going to be taking it out for a test drive today. The purpose of this video is essentially to tell you a little bit about the car, see if it's a good buying decision or not, and how it's stood over the years that have gone by. This current model has 121,000 kilometers, and this will give us a good idea of just how good the build quality is and how the vehicle stands up over the years overall. So this one, of course, does have the 3.5 liter V6 engine that is paired to an automatic transmission. As for options, you've got heated seats, you've got a panoramic sunroof, but yeah, no, overall it's pretty well equipped. One part I really love about this car have to be the seats. They're very comfy, they're still quite sporty. Sure, the side bolstering could be a little bit more aggressive for a sports car, but overall you can't really ask for too much. This isn't a C63 at the end of the day, it is still a C350. Overall, sitting inside this vehicle really does show that the Mercedes still has really great build quality. Lots of soft touch materials found throughout the vehicle. The steering wheel feels really nice in your hands. The 9-3 grips are just fantastic, and your thumbs just caress them really beautifully there. And of course you have your paddle shifters on the side as well. So yeah, overall the build quality of the vehicle does seem quite good. So now essentially it's time for us to get a move on here. Okay, so taking off is a struggle right now. I do live in Canada with quite a bit of snow, and we're taking a while to get moving. One thing I'll say right off the bat is the driving position of this car feels really nice. You are sitting a little bit lower. Of course you can adjust that all, but it is a sports car, so you do want it to feel like a sports car when you're driving it, and I'm getting that impression right now so far. As for visibility, the A-pillars are actually kind of at an awkward place because it seems as though the roof line goes in a little bit. Kind of get a feeling that it's kind of squished in this way, so it's a little bit different when it comes to the visibility from that perspective. Brakes are really touchy, really touchy. So you barely need any brake application to stop. Now, okay, so one thing that's twice now I've noticed it. I'm not a fan when it comes to being in eco mode or in comfort mode of the throttle. It seems a little too lax for me. You have to put your foot down a little too much to get going, in my opinion. So that's maybe one thing that would be something you'd have to get used to for sure. All right, so it does have some decent pickup. I'm gonna put it in sport right now, and we're gonna floor it. This is at just over 60 kilometers an hour. It's actually pretty quick. That climbed pretty damn fast. So this is one of the criticisms I've always had with these automatic transmissions. I just did Tiptronic, or manual mode if you want to call it that, and it still doesn't really feel that quick. That's one of my biggest criticisms with regular automatic transmissions. When you have a sports car and you click the paddle and it takes a second to then switch gear, it kind of takes away from the experience overall. And I definitely did feel that even in the sports mode, it isn't as responsive when you're in manual mode there. So that's one thing that, being a 2012, I suppose you could maybe expect, given that the technology just wasn't as good back then. The comfort that you get in this car, though, is actually really nice. So even going over some of those bumps, for it being a sports car, it's still really smooth when you want it to be. You go over some of these bumps, the suspension soaks it up so well, even though this is still a sports car. How does steering feel? There isn't really much dead zone, not gonna lie. It's pretty responsive, even with the smallest little inputs that you make. Taking this turn right here. Getting the back end out just a little bit. Composes itself nicely though. Something I wanted to get out of today was this. With essentially 120,000 kilometers on the clock, how well has this vehicle stood up over time? And I'll tell you right now, just in this experience, I haven't heard any rattles. I haven't heard any squeaks, even though this car has been sitting outside. It feels good. It feels really composed, and that's something that I would expect with the Mercedes. Now, this does have an instant fuel economy mode. So right now I'm cruising at just over 60 kilometers an hour, so about 40 miles per hour, give or take. And it says that we are averaging around 5 to 8 liters per 100 kilometers. Take that with a grain of salt. Of course, that always fluctuates when you accelerate and decelerate, but I don't know how gas would really be on this vehicle. I wouldn't imagine that it would be the greatest, since this is a V6 at the end of the day, but it wouldn't be too terrible. One thing you want to consider, given that this is a Mercedes, you do not want to cheap out on the gas that you use. Get yourself premium, high-octane fuel. These German cars thrive on it, and they can't live without it. So do keep that in mind as well. Now the question is, does this feel like a sports car when you're driving it? Because at the end of the day, this is the coupe. Let's downshift here. Okay, so we're third. It does have good, you know what? It does feel good. This is a nice engine. But the one thing, it sucks because you know what? I'm not a fan of this transmission in sport mode. So we're just over 2,000 RPM, fourth gear. Okay, now it changed. Now it changed. Now it changed. Okay, so there's a bit of a delay, but not too bad overall. All right, here we go. Spinning tires. You know what though? Okay, so the traction control and stability control was working there. On a straight line, the back end did not fishtail once. I felt the wheels spin a bit, but this car did a really good job at keeping it on center. So what are my overall impressions so far? Let's put it this way. This Generation C-Class at this point is actually the most affordable Mercedes and the best bang for buck, in my opinion, that you can buy right now. This model right here, this 2012 C350, Harman Kardon audio system, blind spot monitor, panoramic sunroof, backup camera, backup sensors front and rear, is just over 16,000 Canadian. American, I would imagine that's probably around 13,000, maybe could be even a little bit less. Overall, that's some good value. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a Mercedes, it's still a modern Mercedes, so you've got that awesome engineering, relatively new engineering as well. I think this is really good value. And of course, you can get some of them in all-wheel drive. That would bring up the cost a little bit. No, this car feels good. I'll tell you right now, this car feels really nice. Not gonna lie, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below, I don't think this car came with a 6-speed. If this came with a 6-speed manual transmission, I'm telling you right now, I would probably consider trading my 350Z HR for this car. Because there's something about it that I really do enjoy. I like the looks. Firstly, I love the looks. That's an objective thing, but I think the car overall looks really nice. Interior and exterior wise. It's comfortable. It's got pretty much every option you need. The build quality seems really, really good, as I've experienced so far, even with 120,000K. So it's gone through its paces. It's been broken in without a doubt. And for what you can buy these cars for, I think it's a no-brainer in many cases. So here we go. This is all snow. We're doing some maneuvers. Okay, you gotta bear this in mind. It's all about the tires at this point. Just because you've got a Mercedes doesn't mean that you're gonna have the best grip on planet Earth if your tires stink. So do bear that in mind here. We're on this really nice flat piece of road that hasn't been touched with lots of snow. I'm on the brakes and we're still moving. You need winter tires, people, I'm telling you. I'm going in a straight line right now. We're not even hitting 20 kilometers an hour. And holding a nice little skid, not gonna lie. That's why I love rear-wheel drive cars in the winter. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, you can't beat it. In my opinion, you really can't beat it. Snow. Mercedes rear-wheel drive. All-season tires. Let's see how we do. Alright, so as you can tell, ESP is off, and it seems like traction control is still trying to prevent me from having fun. But I mean, yeah, so taking off, you definitely need winter tires with this car. So that's all for that, folks. As you can tell, not the best. So let's put stability control back on because I don't want to mess this car up while Alberta Truck and Auto gives me the privilege of giving me this vehicle. Oh my god, if we're stuck, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay. When I started this test drive, we were just under a quarter tank, and it looks like we've lost a tick just from this short little drive that we've had, and it's saying, "We need to put fuel in the tank, yeah? Don't ship out and put 91 octane minimum." After that little experience, with that little amount of snow that was on the ground, you definitely need winter tires if you have the rear-wheel drive C350 in particular. You're going to be shooting yourself in the foot if you don't. At the end of the day, tires are the only thing that is in contact with the road. It's not your differentials, it's not any of the fancy electronics that is preventing you from sliding out of control. It's the tires. You need to have winter tires with this vehicle. I'm telling you right now. Or else it's going to be a very short experience with your Mercedes after you buy it and wrap it around a pole, or someone smashes into you because you weren't taking off on a green light. Again, I want to say a huge thank you to Alberta Truck and Auto. Link is in the description. Check their website out. They have a really nice selection of vehicles, from luxury cars to economy cars, trucks, you name it, they've got it. And at really, really nice prices too. So go and check them out as a thank you for them allowing me the opportunity to review this car. Really, really nice vehicle. It feels fantastic. So yeah, I'll just leave it right here for now. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. I'll be more than happy to address them. But let me know what you guys think. Is this a nice vehicle? Were you ever a fan of this generation of C-Class? Do you think a rear-wheel drive car in the winter time is a good choice, a bad choice? Let me know. Also, if you like this video, please support me and give me a thumbs up. This is something I do on my spare time. I'm not paid for this, obviously. Something I just do as a passion of mine because I love cars. And consider subscribing to the channel as well. I've got a couple of videos. I'm planning on doing lots more of these, at least 2 a week, with different cars, of course. And the best part about it is these are all unbiased. I'm not reviewing these on the behalf of Alberta Truck and Auto. I'm doing this for my channel, so do consider subscribing. Once again, thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.